Yes, the Archivest, y'all. Exclusively interviewing Winnipeg's finest, Grand Analog.
What's happening?
How you doing, man?
The Archivest arculating.
Ooh.
Yeah, you like that, huh?
And who is Grand Analog?
Well, we are analogists. Look at that, huh?
There you go.
Analogists. You know, we're boys. We are just beat junkies, record collectors,
Dancers.
We just got together and created a collective, and we called it Grand Analog. We are the Grand Analog crew, and we make music. You know,
Yeah, man.
and we just spreading that love as far as it can go.
And as a collective too, man, we're always different lineups, different people, different kind of instruments, live band to back to the hip hop, roots of DJ and MC. We can do that.
Yeah.
Or maybe we'll bust out a couple of kazoos or basses or keyboards or whatever.
Right out the wazoo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We gotta get a wazoo. The one with the horn on it. Yeah.
And how has it been going with Grand Analog so far as a collective?
You know, we're very fortunate that we're open-minded guys. You got to be open-minded in this day and age, and I'm fortunate that I've got me a bunch of open-minded guys. And when we run on the road, we're always trying to learn something as opposed to think we know everything.
Yep.
You know what I mean? We're always ready to learn something new, and I think sometimes that's when we discover things when we're on stage. So
We'll keep it fresh every night.
we're trying to keep it fresh.
It'll
We're
be
not even
different every
trying.
time.
We are keeping it fresh.
You're right.
It's working out.
That's a good point.
And what do people know of the group establishing in your name, Grand Analog?
Well, do you mean the actual name? Well, Grand Analog derives from a couple things. Obviously, analog is the opposite to digital, and we wanted to really make sure that we embrace the music that was made in the analog days, in the 60s and 70s, you know,
Absolutely.
dusty old tape recordings. You can't match that sound to a T these days, but, you know, we came pretty close with some things.
And hip hop's always been going for that sound, you know?
Yeah.
Hip hop's made from this kind of stuff, these old dusty samples.
Yeah,
You know?
tapes, man, tapes.
Yeah, man.
So, the grand aspect is just the old school hip hop aspect, you know.
Definitely.
When a lot of cats were starting up back in the early 80s, Grand was used a lot. Grand Wizard Theodore, Grandmaster Flash, Grand Melly Mel. So we brought that back a little bit, you know what I mean? We're Grand Analog.
And how was the success of Calligraffiti?
Well, Calligraffiti was our first album that came out in 2007. It was just a collection of tunes that we put together. We didn't really know what we were doing. We were just experimenting.
Yeah, man.
It's always good to just experiment and do your thing, see what happens. And it was a good vibe for us. It was a good fit for us. You know, we brought in all our own flavors into the mix and did what we do. And then the new album, Metropolis is Burning, that came out in 2009. And it was a step up from that. It was now, instead of experimenting, it was more songwriting because we knew what our sound was now.
And just holding that together and, you know, building on it.
So now on the next one, we're looking to just start from scratch and be experimental once again.
And how are the features with Shad K and Cadence Weapon on the Metropolis Burning album? Tell us about that.
You know, well, those were two artists we really appreciated their work. Cadence Weapon definitely has his own thing going on, and Shad is a like-minded character with us. We've traveled with him for the last couple of years now. His second album, we did a run with him for that, and now his third album, we're doing a run with him for that. So clearly there's something linear there, you know? There's something there that we both appreciate with each other. So, and, you know, look out for more work with us. with these characters.
And it was huge for us having him on Electric City as well. That song did really well on iTunes for us, and it was just good having him bring more people in for us too.
Yeah.
And where is your favorite place to tour so far?
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's a tough one, man. Favorite place to tour?
Could be New York, could be Texas, South by Southwest.
Yeah, New York was a big one for me. New York stands out for me.
Definitely. CMJ.
But the West Coast stands out too, man.
Yeah, man.
You know, are you shooting somewhere tonight in Vancouver? That's
Yeah, man. Because West is
that's
always
gonna be
crazy.
some serious business. Vancouver's always been really good to us, and of course Whistler and
Yeah, man.
Victoria.
It's very open arms kind of thing out here. You know, we're used to Toronto, where it's kind of the, who are these guys? What's this all about? But then here, people just want to get down, and
Yeah.
we love it out
And
here.
you know what? I got to give a mad shout out to Saskatoon out there, because they really show people how to get down. They really show
Sasquatch.
people how to get a good time. Saskatoon.
And what's one of the biggest successes you have so far with Grand Analog?
You know, rocking a packed house in New York City. That felt good, man. That was a good
Great.
feeling, because I mean, every kid wants to get to New York City and play their songs. So, okay, we've got that checked off. We've done it, and it was good.
Yeah. Just getting
we'll
that
see what's
recognition on
next.
iTunes as well. It was like number 7 of '09. That was dope.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Sharing the list with MF Doom,
Yeah, that's
Talib
right.
Kweli, Jay-Z, you know.
Yeah,
I feel like we might be doing something right if we're up in there, you know.
we were on iTunes year-end chart, place number 7. It's pretty good. It's
And-
all right.
And how's it going on UrbNet with the group so far?
You know, UrbNet's a little powerhouse. You know, it's just a couple of guys out of their apartment in Toronto. You know, it's underground. It's old school. It's a fresh look at the way a record label should be run, and they're holding it down. We give those guys props for doing their thing. UrbNet's name is definitely building.
A wicked
Slowly
roster.
but surely.
Yeah, man.
And what's the biggest crowd that you've rocked so far?
Any of you funk cats that know Herbalizer, look up Herbalizer. They're a band out of the UK. We did a tour with them about a year and a half ago. We started in Montreal and ended in Vancouver. We played the Commodore here to a sold-out joint. I think that was about
900?
900 people.
Yeah. That was crazy.
But I think the biggest crowd I've ever played was at the Olympics right here in Vancouver as well. We opened for Burton Cummings in front of 20,000 people at BC Place. So that one, luckily I was wearing dark jeans, so you couldn't see that I pissed my pants. You couldn't see the piss marks and the piss lines and the crotch. Man, I
planned ahead, man.
urinated my pants.
And what are your inspirations?
Ooh. It's we get asked that a lot, man. It's a huge list, especially with 4 heads, 4 DJs.
Yeah.
The collection goes from our dads to stuff that came out today. A little bit of everything, man. It's this interview could go on for a while if we get into it.
Yeah, you know, if you listen to Grand Analog, you'll hear a lot of dub reggae in there, some soul in there, some rock,
A little bit of funk.
funk, and then you've got the classic 90s style drums and hip hop. That, you know, the drums, my favorite drums are mid 90s drums in hip hop, and we definitely emulated that. You get some of that for sure.
And how is it performing at South by Southwest and Juno Fest?
South by Southwest has turned into such a party that we forget we're performing. It's a party. Those folks that like to party and check out a lot of bands, try to get to South by Southwest and enjoy it, because the city of Austin definitely shuts down, and musicians and industry types take over that town.
Just run it.
Yeah, and you know,
You really
man,
feel
I
like
saw everything from Smokey Robinson to
Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg. Like it's a great festival, hands down. Man.
They
It's
treat
my
musicians really well, man. You really feel like, as a musician, like, somebody appreciates us around here. All right.
And Juno Fest.
Juno Fest is it's not as crazy as South by Southwest, of course, but you know, the difference between that is that every town gets a chance to rock the Junos, right? So I think last year was St. John's, something like that. The year before that was somewhere, I think Vancouver. So I like that in the sense that you know, a particular city gets to host the Junos and people get to run out and see the folks. That's cool.
That's a great idea, man.
Yeah, man.
Definitely.
Yeah, man.